Good afternoon, everyone, especially to our instructor, Miss Auberjane Bolado. Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Charilyn Yo from the said BSED Filipino 3B, and we are the group 3. So, today, we are going to discuss about the revisiting elementary learning plans, integration of 21st century communication skills and ICTs. So, the question is, how can you integrate 21st century skills in the teaching and learning process? First, what is integrate? Integrate combine with another so that they will become whole. What is going to this combine? 21st century refer to the knowledge, life skills, career skills, habit, and traits that are critically important to student success in today's world. There are five strategies to prepare your students for the 21st century. First, let your students lead the learning. As a teacher, we should let our students lead the learning. Give the students the opportunity to be self-learners, which guarantees lifelong learning. This brings us directly to the second point, learning. As a teacher, we are there to guide students to discover for themselves, to be independent of their learnings. After we let our students lead the learning, create an inquiry-based classroom environment. If students are to lead the way to learning, they need to be able to ask questions and then find the means to answer them. Students and teachers need to wonder out loud as they encounter new information, like, what do you want to know? What have you learned? Or what do you know? Number 3, encourage collaboration. After an inquiry, find every opportunity to allow students to form pairs and small groups. Not only does this encourage the development of speaking and listening skills, but it also teaches the student how to effectively achieve goals together. We are letting our students to form a groupings to sharing thoughts, ideas, and or brainstorming to each other. After the collaborations, develop critical thinking skills. Learning is more than memorizing and remembering, cause nagkakaroon ng block mental if we are going to memorize or remember the lessons. Introduce activities in your lessons that build critical thinking skills along with language skills. Dito papasok yung mga activities to solve problems in new situation, make inference and generalizations, combine information in new patterns, and make judgments based on evidence and criteria. After developing critical skills, encourage your students to be creative throughout each lessons. Creative activities allow students to express what they've learned in a new way. This synthesizing and personalizing of knowledge consolidates learning and creates an experience that remains with students with long after the class is over.
Hi everyone. Now I'm going to discuss to you about the ICT and its role in developing 21st century communication skills. Okay, so first, let's define what ICT means. ICT is what we call information and communication technology. It is an extensional term of information technology that stresses the role of unified communications and integration of telecommunications, like telephone lines and wireless signals and computers, as well as necessary enterprise software, middleware, storage, and audiovisual that enable users to access, store, transmit, understand, and manipulate information. So let's proceed to the question. What is the role of ICT in developing 21st century communication skills? So ICT has enhanced distance learning in the 21st century. Successful implementation of ICT is to lead. Change is more about to influencing the empowering teachers and supporting them in their engagement with students in learning rather than acquiring computer skills and obtaining software and equipment.
What is the importance of KWL chart? Anyway, a KWL table or KWL chart is a graphical organizer designed to help in learning. The letters of KWL is an acronym for what student in the course of a lesson already know, want to know, and ultimate to learn. The importance of KWL chart, it is effective tools for engaging students in the learning process, helping them recall knowledge and tracking progress. While they are often used to help students to improve their reading comprehension, a KWL learning chart can be applied to any topics or lesson. For example, in the beginning of the lesson, we can use the KWL chart to determine their knowledge as well as they want to know in the lesson.
Good day everyone, I am Delion Marlin B from BSL Filipino 2B, and now we will discuss about how do we develop critical thinking. But before we proceed on that question, I would like first to define what is critical thinking. Critical thinking is a process of analyzing information to get the best answer to a question or problem. And now we will proceed to the question, how do we develop critical thinking? Based on my understanding on what I read, we develop critical thinking is by observation. With observation, we can gather some ideas, information, or data that can we use in our argument. Second is analyze. We need to study carefully to have a successful argument. We learn by analyze and understand on what I read or what we read on the textbook or any source that we have. Third is inference. The inference, it is the source where we can get a relevant data to use in our argument. Fourth is the communicating. By communicating, we can get idea or exchange idea, information, and data so that we can have a successful argument in the future. Fifth is problem solving. Now, problem solving, we find a solution to a problem and determine a cause to a problem. That's all for my discussion, and I hope you learned something from it. Thank you.
What is the importance of ICT in education? So today, I will discuss to you the importance of ICT in education. As we can see, nowadays, we do not need to go any farther than our own home or even room to see form of ICT in our lives. This makes ICT a lifestyle choice for much of the populations. So this lifestyle choice is changing the way we communicate in changing on how we interact and go gather information. So in educations, ICT is important because teacher can use different apps or trusted online resources to enhance the traditional ways of teaching and to keep students more engaged. Then, making a lesson plans, grading softwares, and online assessment can help teachers save a lot of time. That's all.